Have you seen this picture? This was an ark placed in a chamber about 90 feet below the Garbhagriha in Angkor Wat, the world's largest Hindu temple. It is said that the thieves stole it thinking it was a treasure. It's not wrong to consider it as one. If you watch this video till the end, you will understand what its relevance was and why it was placed there. Some say it was the tomb of King Suryavarman, the Khmer dynasty king who built this temple, but the ark was not big enough to hold a corpse. Now some of us may doubt, how could you have arrived at dimensions of an ark that has been lost long ago? True, but a similar ark was found under another temple near this site. All the items in it were stolen too, leaving some quartz stones which were recovered from it. No one exactly knows what else was in it. Others refer to it as the conductor used by the ancient people to generate electricity. If you look at the urban planning model of the city around the temple, it makes you suspect that it is some kind of an electric grid. So, it is said that at one time there was a supply of electricity in this city, and this probe was a kind of conductor to attract it from the atmosphere and so on. All just guesses. So, what is this ark? Let's peek into the video to find out what it is and what is the reason for placing it there. In Bharat during olden times villages, cities, temples, houses, assembly halls, wells, lakes, and all other kinds of creations had a rite that was conducted before laying the foundation stone. It was called Garbhanyasa. As we all know, the process of beginning of any form of life is from semination. The growth of life is based on the strength of seed that is sown. Similarly, in construction practice the process is called Garbhanyasa, and the seed is called Garbha. It is said that the strength of the Garbha relates to the prosperity of the creation. If we consider the creation as a body, then Garbha is its soul. From this the importance of the Garbha can be understood. Now let's talk about the method of Garbhanyasa in all the villages. Firstly, let's see what materials are needed for this Garbhanyasa. Soil, tubers, grains, metals, minerals, gems and Indrakila are the materials required for Garbhanyasa, and flawless forms of these materials should be collected for this rite. A cubical pit is dug with depth of around 2 cubits. After this, the pit is filled with water for quenching the earth. Then, materials starting with soil should be filled in this pit in order, i.e., soil, tubers and grains. Then a copper vessel should be seated firmly fixed over the grains. Now let's see what are the dimensions of this vessel. The width or diameter of the copper vessel should be any of 24, 12, 10, 8, 4 units respectively. This copper vessel should have a height same as that of width and should be shaped like a cube or a cylinder. The 5 measures mentioned here could be for 5 different types of villages, namely Grama, Keda, Kavada, Duga, Nagara etc. The copper vessel should be divided into 25 or 9 compartments. In this the deities should be aligned as in Upapatapada. Alignment of deities is as shown in the picture. Let's rename this with alphabets for a better understanding. Now let's see what materials should be filled in this vessel divided into 25 compartments. First, make a statue of bull out of silver and statue of god Indra out of gold and place it in the compartment C. In compartment G, place a statue Lord Yama made of copper and a statue of an elephant made of iron. A lion statue should be made of gold and a statue of Vayuna, the Lord of Seas, should be made of silver and placed in compartment K. A horse made of silver and the moon god made of silver too, should be placed in compartment O. First these lords of the respective directions are consecrated and all of them should be placed inward, that is, towards the central compartments. These images should be made in unit size of 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2, respectively. Vehicles such as bull, elephant, lion, and horse mentioned earlier should be made in half the size of these deities. These statues can be in sitting or standing pose. Next let's talk about the objects that fill the positions of other deities remaining in the outer layer. Tourmaline stone in A. Cassiterite stone, a mineral of tin in E. Galena stone, an ore of lead in I. Aurum stone, the mineral of gold in M. Chalcopyrite stone, a mineral of copper in B. Orpiment stone in D. Realgar stone in F. Pyrite stone in H. Lapis lazuli stone in J. Hematite stone in L. Antimony stone in N. Cinnabar stone in P. Thus are the materials in the outer layer said. Now let's talk about the materials that are mentioned for the inner compartments. That is, pearl should be placed in Q, coral in R, yellow sapphire in S, cat's eye in T, diamond in U, buhl sapphire in V, hessonite in W, emerald in X and ruby in middle compartment Y. These gems and minerals should be consecrated in small containers of equal proportions by the one who knows the positions and postures of the deities mentioned earlier. Swastikas should be made of gold, iron, copper and silver and placed outside central Y compartment in all 4 cardinal directions. That is, swastika made of gold in the east, of iron in the south, of copper in the west and of silver in the north. Now let's talk about metals. Metals are to be made in the shape of different grains. Rice grains made of gold, barley grains of silver, millet grains of iron, foxtail millet of tin, black grams of lead, sesame seeds of tourmaline, pulses of iron, and horse grams of copper. Now let's talk about the dimensions of the Indrakila that is placed above this vessel. Height should be from 12 to 32 units in increments of 5, i.e., 12, 17, 22, 27, 32. And width should be 1 unit extra than the size of vessel in both directions. It should be made from the wood of Kutch tree and its tip should be pointed like pyramid or cone. It should be fixed firmly atop of the vessel by those who know the ritual of Garbanyasa. In this way the statue of a god should be consecrated on top of Indrakila in Garba. Just like Shadadara as is done nowadays. This is how the Vishnu idol in the Angkor Wat temple was placed on top of the ark. We can see the heights the artisans of architecture reached in constructing this temple. Not just a temple. A very complex urban city layout still remains as ruins around this temple. So, what do you think? Was the ark really a treasure? Or a symbol of prosperity? Let me know. I think that now everyone must have understood the relevance of this ark and what all were the things that are said to have been placed in it. That's all for the day. If you liked today's video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Until next time, have a nice day.